Hey everyone, James Reeves, TFBTV, living on the edge here at Neutral Ground Gun Company, the second, third, possibly fourth best gun range in Louisiana. I show up today and I have a whole suite of 509 pistols that I've never seen before. Swear to God, I just show up and they're here at the range and I'm like, what do you guys want me to do with these? And they say, we want you to review them. So this is the FN 509 Edge series. You're looking at pistols that are already gonna have all your go fast components right out of the box. You've got some tactical models, you've got some competition models, and you've got some concealed carry models. They've got upgraded triggers, buttons, levers, magazines, mag wells. Of course, they're going to be optic ready because everybody's kind of going in that direction. And this is an interesting trend where now you're seeing more manufacturers making guns that are available out of the box from the factory, fully decked out, ready to go for competition carry, whatever it is that you're going to use them for. So we're going to talk real quick about the three that I have here, a couple concealed carry variants and a competition variant. First up, FN 509 Edge LS. LS stands for long slide because this one's got a 5-inch barrel. This is the flagship model of the new 509 Edge series. You're looking at a gun geared towards competition. You can see up front here, high visibility, fiber optic sight. Then in the rear, you've got a serrated blacked out rear sight with ears to protect it. Their suppressor height, they will also co-witness with an optic, and yes, of course, it is optics compatible. You've got slide lightning cuts right here to increase the cyclical speed. You've also got this new flat trigger on here, which FN claims to be much improved over the standard 509, not that there was anything wrong with it, but it feels pretty good. It's not blowing my mind or anything, but it's definitely an upgrade. Magwell here, looks like it comes with 17-round magazines with FN base plates. Fully ambi. You've got an ambi slide release, slide stop, whatever you guys want to fight about calling it in the comments, and an enhanced magazine release button that is reversible. Totally decked out for competition, not something I necessarily do. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty strong. So, magazine right there, this little 3-inch box. These were the first 8 rounds out of the gun. And then I threw a couple of flyers whenever I sped it up. It just pisses me off that I threw 2 flyers. But the first 8 rounds were literally all touching. And then that was a whole magazine at 7 yards. And I forgot to mention, you have improved grip texture. And again, not that there's anything wrong with the FN 509 grip texture, but for this Edge series, they're making it a little bit grittier. Now, something a little bit more my speed. This is the 509 Edge CC. CC, of course, you know it, stands for Cupcake. Now, it's the concealed carry version of the 509 Edge, basically giving you a tricked out carry pistol. 4.2-inch barrel, which is cold hammer forged, and as you can see here, kind of dope. Comes with a compensator built in. You've got this titanium nitride finish on it. All the cool kids are doing it these days. I kind of like the black and gold as a hardcore Saints fan. It is what it is. You've got the lightning cuts on the slide, just like you had on the LS version we looked at, which also make for pretty good, aggressive forward slide serrations for you press checkers out there. Just like the LS, you're looking at a fully ambi gun. There's your mag release right there. Very easy to use and reversible. Slide stop on either side. You've got the same sight setup here. You see you've got the blacked out serrated rear with the ears. You've got the plate for the optic, and you've got that high visibility fiber optic front sight. Again, what's cool about this is if you do decide to install a red dot, you've got co-witnessing sights. If you decide to install a suppressor, your sights are gonna work. You've got that same aggressive carry texture. You've got that same improved flat front trigger. You guys saw that rapid fire, full magazine with the 15 rounder, just all in one. This thing shoots really well. It says on their website, 25% reduction in recoil from the compensator. Dude, Ryan, you're gonna have to try this out just to kind of get your take. I feel like this gun has less recoil than that 5-inch monster that I was just shooting. And that was a light shooting gun. This one is actually pretty impressive. And I also want Ryan to shoot this versus the long slide and tell me what he thinks.
Compact.
You think so?
Yeah.
Dude,
sure.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close for me, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it does offset it quite a bit. I mean, not a lot, but enough to make it noticeable.
The neat thing about the CC, which is a trend that you're starting to see with a lot of other concealed carry guns, is the fact that they give you almost this subcompact style grip, right? That's a very short grip by way of comparison. Glock 19. So you can see it's a little bit shorter than the Glock 19, and it accepts as standard a 12-round magazine. They've got a little plate there for you. One thing I will lament is I did not see it. Maybe it's in the box, maybe they're going to include it in the production version. I did not see a flat base plate. I like to have the flat base plates in case I want something super deep carry, because how awesome would it be to have a 12-round gun with a 4.2-inch barrel and a compensator that you could easily conceal. This is nice, it's very ergonomic, gives you a little bit of space for your pinky here, but I wish that they would include what I call a Taylor Swift magazine, and that's one with a flat butt. You know, in case you want to conceal it a little bit deeper, right? That's what's going to give you up, is the butt whenever you're concealing. So I'd like to see the T-Swift model of magazine come with this, but you also, in the box, get a 15-round extended magazine, and that's what I'm saying that I like about this. I have the choice. Unlike the Glock 19 where you're stuck with this size butt no matter what, if you do 15 or 17, you can start small here with a 12. You can add the 15 and you can even big dog it. I guess this is the Megan Thee Stallion butt version of the 509 based on your needs. Do you want more capacity? Do you want smaller size? You choose with the Edge. I'm really curious to see how this muzzle brake functions in this tiny little pistol. You guys remember that 509cc Edge I was just talking about like 7 seconds ago? We'll take all of that information. It's the same information. Apply it to this. This is the XL. You're talking about the upper being identical, right? But if you're one of those guys where you want the full-size frame, 17-round flush fit magazine, this is your gun. Yeah, I don't know if it's got to be the sights. It's got to be the sights, because I mean, all these groups are actually really good. That one, that one, that one, that one, really good, but they're all about an inch to an inch and a half to the left. Maybe just the gun's not sighted in from the factory properly, because I've been shooting all the other ones right on target. This one is the only one that's shooting a little to the left, but the accuracy, pretty impressive. Not bad. I mean, just look at that. Get you a gander. These tight groups. That one's actually, no, don't gander at that one. Gander at that one. Gander at that one. Gander, gander. Gander Mountain. All the bells and whistles, all the accessories and the compensator and all that cool shit, plus the addition of a mag well and something a little bit girthier to grab onto with that full-size grip versus, by way of comparison, thank you, Ryan, here's the grip on the regular CC model, 12-round flush fit, 17-round flush fit. And then here's your Glock 19, your standard Glock 19, by which all other compact pistols is compared. This one's a little bit more svelte, a little bit slimmer, but then again, this one's got all the shit that you want to put on it already. Now, about that, MSRP, brace yourself for this. $1,629. $1,629. Wonder if that has anything to do with the exchange rate. You know what it is? It's that damn Japanese carry and inflation just driving the cost of these pistols up. Now, that's a lot of money, $1,629. But you do get a gun that is out of the box. It needs nothing. We're seeing, well, you need an optic, obviously. I would throw an optic on all of these guns. Fortunately, especially with 509 magazines costing what 509 magazines cost, you get 3 magazines and a really nice carrying case. But let's take these out in the range and see what $1,629 gets us. Not bad, actually. Look at that. Forget about this guy over here, but I mean, dude, just mag dumping 2 mags at 10 to 7 yards. Okay, actually shoots without an optic pretty well. FN 509 Edge series. What do I think about the 509 Edge series? Well, let's start with the LS version. This is the long slide version, 5-inch barrel. You've got the lightning cuts, you've got optics readiness, fully ambi, the improved trigger. All of these guns are actually very similar in terms of their feature set. You're not really going to need anything. For me, this was pearls before swine. This gun shot well, it was accurate. I don't shoot competition, so I just said everything you would need for a competition pistol, but I don't factually know that because I don't really shoot pistol competitions. Let's talk about the trigger because I think the trigger is the same for all of these. It is a pretty good trigger. Here's your reset. Get the mic close to it. Pretty short reset, right? Nice trigger break. I'm not saying that this is like the best trigger I've ever felt, but in terms of polymer frame striker fired handguns, it's pretty good. But the LS series, I'm not going to do anything with it, so it doesn't do much for me. Let's talk about Goldilocks option. This is the 509 Edge CC XL. That's the cupcake extra large. Now the concealed carry XL. XL designation because you're looking at essentially like something between a compact and duty-sized pistol. It's got a 4.2-inch barrel, but you've got the compensator on here. 17+1 capacity instead of 15, which would be in your normal kind of compact pistol. You've got the magwell, fully ambi. You've got the same trigger that you've got in the LS, which again, better than average for a polymer frame striker fired handgun. The compensator, Ryan and I have decided, lives up to what FN says in terms of the recoil reduction. They say it's 25% recoil reduction. I don't know. I couldn't really figure out 25. I was thinking more it was like 23%, 22%. Obviously, we can't figure it out with that much precision, but we shot these back to back, these being the LS versus the smaller, lighter CC. I shot just as well with the CC guns, and I felt like there was less recoil. So I really like these compensated ones. This is kind of the range I'm looking at. Now, if you're looking for a duty-sized pistol, this one's great. The gun shoots really well, and I do want to pause before we get to the last one and emphasize the fact that all 3 of these pistols shot exceptionally well, especially considering that we didn't use red dots. Now let's get to the last one. This is the 509cc Edge. This is the smallest one, 12-round flush fit capacity. Kind of pissed off about the fact that this doesn't come with a Taylor Swift flat butt mag. This has a little pinky extension, which I don't think gives us any additional capacity. I like the pinky extension. It makes it easier to shoot, but at the same time, if I'm looking for easier to conceal, I would like for everything to kind of end right there. And I don't see any reason why they couldn't do that. And I bet if you got like a regular ass 509 base plate, it would probably work on here. Grip texture, great. You're talking about the exact same upper as the XL here, 4.2-inch barrel, so you're going to get extraordinary ballistic performance out of a very, almost subcompact size handgun. You've got the compensator on here, you got the lightning cuts, forward slide serrations, the fiber optic front sight, the blacked out rear sight. I like this gun a lot. I really enjoyed shooting this gun. I could even see myself carrying this gun, and funny enough, before I shot the 509cc Edge, I'm thinking to myself, what's the point? Because after all, FN makes the reflex, and if you didn't watch that video go back and watch it, my review of the FN Reflex. The FN Reflex is one of the best handguns, if not the best handgun that FN makes, and it's one of the best and probably the most overlooked micro compact. It's an 11+1, not a 10+1 like a lot of its competitors, but it's just as small, just as light, an insanely good trigger, great ergos. Back to that trigger, I think I measured it at like 3.5 or 4 pounds, which is really, really light for a concealed handgun. Might make some people uncomfortable, but that's because it uses a partially cocked internal hammer, but it gives it this amazing trigger. And it's only $5.99 MSRP. So it keeps up with its class in terms of prices. But now let's talk about the 509cc Edge. This gun shot extraordinarily well. You saw me shoot it today, shooting rapid fire, shooting slow fire. It shot very well. Love the sights. We weren't even using a red dot, and I shot this more accurately with iron sights than I do some pistols with a red dot. The trigger, better than average. Again, not like, oh my God, this is the most amazing trigger ever, but this new FN, in fact, I would say the Reflex trigger might be better than this, and that's not to put down the 509cc Edge or any of the Edge pistols, because these are great triggers too. They just aren't the best ones out there, but that's tough to do with a striker-fired polymer frame handgun, especially one from the factory. This gun shot very well. The compensator works, it's small, it's concealable. I like this gun a lot. And you know what? I liked all of these guns. Would I own these two? Probably not. Could I picture myself owning this gun? Could I picture myself carrying this gun? Hell yeah, I could definitely own this gun. I could definitely carry this gun. I shot it super well. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is $1,629 MSRP. $1,629, it's hard to defend that, especially considering you guys have been seeing my PX4 Storm, the Langdon tactical version that I've been shooting. My version without an optic, so just like this, without an optic, is $1,623. That's not MSRP, that's the actual price, $1,623, but it's $6 cheaper than this one. I'm not sure I see the 509 Edge series as being a pistol line that's going to bring people away from brands that they're already devoted to. This isn't going to attract Glock people or SIG people or HK people, whatever the case may be. Where I do see the 509 Edge doing well is with people who already own or are invested in the 509 series, or people who maybe aren't heavily invested in any other polymer frame striker-fired handgun, and they see this as an attractive option. Again, the price is eye-watering for these pistols. For me, I look at the 509 Edge series and I'm thinking, man, that is a lot of money. But I think for some of you out there, the question is it worth it to you to buy something that's from the factory, out of the box, good to go, needs nothing? These are all capable performers. They come from a company, from FN, one of the most trusted companies in the industry. So really the question is this worth it to you? Do the math in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks as usual for watching. Stay tuned. We're bringing you more from Neutral Ground Gun Company.